It says this meeting is being live streamed. We stand in the meeting being live streamed.
All done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Making sure we're clear to send it out.
Go ahead.
So if you're here to watch any proceedings in court, it's being streamed on YouTube. And so that's the better avenue for watching any of the proceedings today on YouTube, mostly because it's a sound issue for us. But if you've been called as a witness, that's different. But if you're here to watch the proceedings, it's available at Judge Tony Flores' courtroom on YouTube. Yes. So we're on the record in docket 22-01517. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Anjanette S. Horton. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Erin Housefield on behalf of the people.
Jacob Sarce, the fourth Assistant Public Defender, here on behalf of Ms. Horton for this appearance. Ms. Horton is appearing by Zoom. I'm also appearing by Zoom this morning. We both agreed to proceed in this manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sartz. And ma'am, you are Anjanette Horton, and you'll have to take yourself off mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm
So you are
Anjanette Horton.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Housefield, this is the time set for a probable cause conference on this case. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have been in communication with Mr. Sartz on this matter. It's my understanding that defense attorney does not yet have discovery, and they are seeking an adjournment. Ms. Horton is here to waive her 21-day timeline so that we can have the preliminary examination reset.
Mr. Sartz, is that your understanding of how we're proceeding today?
that's correct, Your Honor. Further, I'm also scheduled for a jury trial on the date and time of our scheduled preliminary examination, which would be another reason for me to request an adjournment. It's my understanding that Ms. Horton understands the reasons for why it would make sense to adjourn her preliminary examination past the 21 days here, and she would be willing to agree to a timeline waiver. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sartz. May I inquire of your client in regards to the 21-day waiver?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Horton, it's my understanding that we are going to adjourn the prelim on July 22nd, 2022 for two reasons. One, Mr. Sartz is in trial, and the second is there's some discovery issues that means that your attorney wants some information from the investigating agency concerning this matter. In order to do that, we need for you to waive your right to to an examination within 21 days. And I'll explain that process to you. So you under Michigan law, you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment. And the preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the state must prove by probable cause evidence that a crime was committed and that you committed that crime. You get the right to have that within 21 days. We're gonna ask you to waive that right to have it outside of 21 days, and because of these discovery issues and because your attorney's in trial, you're not waiving your right to a prelim you're not waiving your right to a preliminary examination in general. You're just waiving your right to a prelim within that 21-day time period. So do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and ma'am, are you willing to waive your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment today?
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions on the 21-day waiver, Ms. Housefield?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Mr. Sartz, on the waiver?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and we'll get a new date for the prelim. So the date is July 28th at 9. I don't know how that works on your trial schedule, Mr. Sartz.
Your Honor, respectfully, due to this type of charge, in which case I anticipate a lot of potential discovery, and due to the fact that I'm also scheduled for trial on August 8th, I would request a date preferably in mid to late August at this point. Even if we had started receiving some of the initial discovery with the case of this type, generally speaking, the discovery is huge. So due to those considerations and due to the fact that I would have basically active prep for 5 trials in the next 3 weeks, I would respectfully request a date, preferably in mid to late August. Thank you.
Let's do August 18th at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And this is an arson preliminary examination, right?
That's correct.
All right.
First
Yeah.
degree.
So
That's correct, which is why I anticipate a lot of discovery.
a lot of discovery on the arson. All right, so I've reset this matter for August 18th at 8:30. The defendant has waived their 21-day time period. Anything else for the record, Ms. Housefield?
Nothing for the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Sartz, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Horton, keep in contact with your attorney, Mr. Sartz, concerning this case, and we'll see you back at August 18th at 8:30. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all for the record in 22-01517.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Getting through my docket, and we still have Judge Buchanan's docket. Oh.
Am I being dismissed now?
You are, Ms. Horton. You're free to leave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm just.
I think we're on.
Horton's still there. All right. And is your client at the Ingham County Jail, Mr. Palmer?
Yes, Judge, it's him in the top.
All right, perfect. All right, we're on the
Can you
record.
take me out August 18th at 8:30.
Ms. Horton. All right, perfect. So we're on the record in docket 22-01784. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Hutchins. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Aaron Housefield on behalf of the people.
And thank you, Your Honor. Robert Palmer, the Public Defender's Office, on behalf of Mr. Hutchins, the gentleman who appears on the screen in the Ingham County Jail.
And sir, you are Michael Hutchins?
Yes,
All right, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Hutchins?
yeah, I can.
All right, thank you. Ms. Housefield, this is the time set for a probable cause conference in this case. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. My office has been in communication with Mr. Palmer. It's my understanding that he's going to petition the court for competency referral, as well as seeking your honor signing a protective order for discovery. I believe Mr. Palmer has those documents with him, and I will let him advise the court.
All right, Mr. Palmer.
That is all accurate, Your Honor. First of all, based on my consultation with Mr. Hutchins earlier this week, I believe that a forensic referral is appropriate. I have brought the 54A forensic referral packet today, if I may approach.
You may.
The other matter, Your Honor, this is obviously a multiple count CSC first degree involving a minor. My understanding, based on conversations with the prosecuting attorney's office, is that there is a forensic interview that has been that was performed with the minor child. That's not been turned over yet because of obviously the sensitive nature that the parties have both executed a stipulated order for the court's review and potential signature, which would allow the prosecuting attorney to release that interview to the defense. I have an order. Again.
You may.
The final, I guess, just housekeeping matter, Judge, is that just so that the court is aware, Attorney Tiffany Shelton from my office will be co-counseling this case with me. I anticipate she'll be present for the preliminary examination on whatever day we end up having that, because the stay that will go into place because of the forensic. But I'd ask the court if the court wants, I can file an amended appearance to reflect her participation in the case.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with Ms. Shelton, so.
Sure, I just wanted to make the court aware that she will be present at the preliminary exam.
Perfect. So, I have in my hand a stipulated order authorizing release of video recorded statement. There's no objection to me signing this?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'll sign this for the record here. Make sure I know. What is today?
I think it's the 15th.
I also have the checklist and the order.
Just sent it to you today.
Yes.
Then, Mr. Palmer, did you want these back, or should I just put them in the file?
I think that the forensic referral can go in the file, I
File.
believe. I think the stipulated order, if I could have a copy of that, just so that I can provide it to the prosecutor and we can
Perfect.
start doing the discovery on our own, I think that'd be appropriate. And then obviously, Judge, given that the court is going to sign the forensic petition, I guess that automatically stays the case. So that would take preliminary examination off the docket for next week.
Correct.
Obviously, I'd ask that the prosecutor not have witnesses present and call those witnesses.
The people will, Your Honor. Thank you.
Take witnesses off. All right, I've signed the stipulation and the petition. We've taken the preliminary examination off for next week, and the people will not be calling witnesses. Anything else for the record from the prosecutor?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Palmer?
Nothing further.
All right, that's all for the record in 22-01784. Mr. Hutchins, please stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Palmer. And we've signed several documents that he'll explain to you, and we'll go from there. The preliminary examination is off for next week. Okay, sir? I don't know if he's on mute. All right.
I did, for what it's worth, Judge, I did discuss.
Yeah. So that's all for the record in that file. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
For the record, if you're on a cell phone and you want to watch the proceedings, you can go to YouTube. If you've not identified yourself as a cell phone call-in user, you have not identified yourself pursuant to the chat from the court officer, then if you don't identify yourself, we'll be removing you from the courtroom. If you're watching as a spectator, you can watch this on the YouTube channel. Mr. White, we'll call your case as soon as Mr. Coleman is brought in.
Thank you. I
Oh,
think
he
he's,
means-
You're welcome.
means it. Yeah, he means it.
yeah,
Call it
I was.
fine.
Hey, Judge, by the way, a couple people from his family are trying to YouTube in and they're having trouble with the stream. I don't know if that's coming from your end or their end, but I just thought I'd give you a heads up because you'd announced that they
All
should go to
right,
Tony Flores.
I know it's streaming
Okay.
because I can see it.
Oh, all
But-
right. I will text them that that's the case and they can dig a little deeper to get on.
All right, yeah, because it's live streaming. I can see it. I can see you.
Oh,
So,
boy. What a wake
I
up
know,
call.
I know. Thank you, Mr. White. All right, we can go. So, Ms. Shinsing and Mr. Raleigh, this is file docket 22-01679. People of the state of Michigan versus Jessica J. Joseph. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Mary Shinsing on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Miss Joseph.
All right, and ma'am, you are Jessica Joseph?
Correct.
All right. This is the time set for probable cause conference in front of Judge Buchanan. I'm covering the case today. The only note I have on this is that, Ms. Joseph, pretrial services was unaware if you were reporting to them. Are you reporting to them currently?
Yes, I called the day of the arraignment.
All right, and you've had contact and you're in contact with them concerning any type of pretrial service matters or conditions?
I spoke to him that one day and he told me I needed to do nothing just as long as my address and phone number was updated.
All right. Ms. Shinsing, this is the time set for a probable cause conference in this matter. It's set for prelim in front of Judge Buchanan on July 22nd at 9 a.m. How are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that we are leaving this set for preliminary examination at this time, but I will defer to Mr. Raleigh.
Mr. Raleigh?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor. We're leaving it set for the examination.
All right, so I have for Judge Buchanan that this is left on for preliminary examination on July 22nd at 9 a.m. Ms. Joseph, you understand that your next appearance will be in front of Judge Buchanan on July 22nd at 9 a.m.
Yes.
And you stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Raleigh, if you have any questions. Ms. Shinsing, anything else for 22-01679?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything, Mr. Raleigh?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Joseph, you'll be in front of Ms. Buchanan on July 22nd at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
That's all for the record in this file. Ms. Joseph, you're free to leave.
Thank you.
Put that on the record.
I'll go check down by her.
All right.
One more time.
On the record, and so let's go on the record in docket 22-01790. Ms. Shinsing, I believe this is this is a Judge Buchanan case, and Mr. Clark is here, so I'll do appearances for the record.
Victoria Shinsing on behalf of the people.
And sir, you are, and you pronounce Avery Clark? Aubrey Clark. All right, and Mr. Clark, this is the time set for a probable cause conference in this case. And so the preliminary examination is set for July 22nd next week at 9 a.m. You are not represented by counsel at the probable cause conference. Have you sought to retain counsel, or have you looked to the public defenders for representation in this matter?
Retain counsel, Your Honor.
Who are you retaining, sir?
Fred Blackman.
Fred Blackman. So you got that name, Ms. Shinsing?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. Well, so when you talk to Mr. Blackman, indicate to him that we had a probable cause conference and that it's set for July 22nd of next week. He's familiar with this court. He's familiar with Mr. Shinsing. So, but just let him know at this point. I'm assuming, Ms. Shinsing, it's left on for preliminary examination.
I guess that's my understanding, Your Honor. I haven't received appearances from Mr. Blackman yet. So that means he probably hasn't received discovery yet either.
Right. All right, at this time, Mr. Clark, since you've retained an attorney, we'll have Fred Blackman contact Ms. Shinsing in regard to your preliminary examination, which is scheduled at 9 a.m. on July 22nd. There'll probably be some discovery issues to make sure that Mr. Blackman gets Ms. Shinsing's investigation and any discovery issues. And then if Mr. Blackman has any questions, he can contact Ms. Shinsing in the case, all right? Anything else on the record, Ms. Shinsing, for 22-01790?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, you'll be back in court with Mr. Blackman on July 22nd at 9 a.m. That'll be in front of Judge Buchanan, all right? All right. That's all for the record. Have a nice day, Mr. Clark.
Paperwork for you.
So we're on the record. Mr. Sir, in the Polycom, are you Andrew Coleman?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you. All right, we're on the record in docket 22-01760. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Andrew James Coleman. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Erin Housefield on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor, Toby White. I am here on behalf of Mr. Coleman.
And sir, you are Andrew Coleman,
Yes, I am.
and you can hear me all right, Mr. Coleman?
Yes, I can.
All right. Ms. Houseville, this is time set for a probable cause conference. How are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding that the defendant is seeking an adjournment of the preliminary examination date and that he is here today to waive his 21-day timeline.
Mr. White, is that your understanding?
It's a mutual request to set the preliminary exam at a date in September. And that is due to an enormous amount of discovery that's coming in. And additionally, though, I did want to try to reserve time next week for when the preliminary exam is, because due to the voluminous discovery and things that are going on, I do want to do a thorough run through on a bond motion with 6.106 in front of Judge Buchanan when she returns, and that way I could have that filed today, properly notice the prosecutor, and have that without him necessarily waiting until September before his bond can be addressed.
All right, so first we'll indicate that the bond is to be argued on the date of exam on the date previously set for exam on July 22nd, 2022. In order to do that, I will need to inquire your client of his waiver of his 21-day right to prelim, and then we can set the date on the following preliminary examination to be set.
Thank you.
And I have some dates from Judge Buchanan on that. Okay, Mr. White?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
It's not my case, so I'm just kind of following what they indicated was available on their docket. Mr. Coleman, you understand you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment. That
Yes.
preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which there would be the people would have to prove by probable cause that a crime was committed and the identity of the person that committed that crime, that being you in this file. You would have your Mr. White present at the probable cause hearing in order to cross-examine witnesses and to contest any charges against you. You understand you have that right within 21 days of your date of arraignment.
Yes.
And today, it's my understanding, because of discovery issues and other issues, the parties are asking to adjourn this matter. So you would have your probable cause hearing outside of the 21-day time period. You'd still have your probable cause hearing. It would not be within 21 days. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So you are comfortable today, after speaking with your lawyer, to waiving your right to a preliminary examination within 21 days and setting your prelim outside of the 21-day period?
Yes.
All right. Any questions on the 21-day waiver, Ms. Housefield?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions on the waiver, Mr. White? And you're on mute, Mr. White.
No questions, no comments. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and now we'll set it for preliminary examination. And I did, from Judge Buchanan's staff, they gave me 2 dates that are available to them right now for reset. One is August 18th at 1:30 to start. They would like to start it on August 18th at 1:30. And then they gave me an additional date of August 26th in the morning. And they put any time on the paperwork. So those are the 2 dates they gave me, was August 18th.
Your Honor, I'm out of town on the 18th, but I'm very happy to start it first thing in the morning on the 26th.
All right, well, let's put it then on the 20, we'll start it on the morning of the 26th. So 8, what time, 9 o'clock? This should, we're looking at our schedule right now. All right, so the preliminary examination will be set for August 26th at 8:30 in front of Judge Buchanan. I've also left the date for July 22nd at 8:30 on for a bond motion.
At what time, Your Honor?
That's at 8:30, sir.
Thank you.
Anything else for the record, Ms. Housfield, and docket 2201760?
Your Honor, I'd just like to clarify, I don't disagree with Mr. White that there is a mutual request for adjournment, but the people had never agreed on a September date. We had simply, and it was not me, it was another APA in communications, indicated whatever the court set. We
Right.
weren't opposed to September, but I would just like to be very clear as we look forward to speedy trials and various other timelines, that the people were not requesting a September date.
All right, and there's no objection to the August 26th date at this time.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else for the file, Mr. White, on 2201760?
No, thank you, Your Honor. And to be clear, if the prosecution wants this charge to the defendant, I'm okay with that, but both of us need time to get the discovery.
All right. So you'll be back in front of Judge Buchanan, July 22nd at 8:30 for a bond motion, and the prelim set for August 26th at 8:30 for the start of the prelim. Mr. Coleman, if you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Mr. White. That's all for the record on this file, 2201760.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what?
Mr. Nickel, are you on Mr. Johnson's case?
For the moment yet, but Joseph Yang will be taking this case over due
Yeah,
to a conflict that's arisen.
Yeah, Mr. Yang came in, he indicated that he's probably coming, but he was not sure the status of the substitution of counsel. So, so we're checking just to see if he's around. If not, we'll just go ahead and proceed, and the paperwork can catch up with the file. So give us a minute just to make sure that Mr. Yang's, because he was here like 30 minutes ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me.
All right, we'll go on the record in docket 22-01736. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Daryl Johnson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Victoria Shinzing on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Scott Nickel on behalf of Mr. Johnson.
And you are Daryl Johnson, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you can hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a probable cause conference in front of Judge Buchanan. I'm stepping in for Judge Buchanan today. Ms. Shinsing, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I was not aware that Mr. Yang would be taking over as counsel for Mr. Johnson. However, the people are ready to proceed to preliminary examination next week.
Mr. Nickel, I think we previously discussed that Mr. Yang had indicated that he was taking over as counsel for Mr. Johnson. But it's my understanding he's not here. He came in for a second, but he's not here on the file. So I know you're only counsel for this right now till the paper catches up with the file. How did you want to proceed today?
Your Honor, I would ask simply that the case be left on for preliminary exam next week. Mr. Yang did get a substitution of counsel over to our office. I have signed it, and it should be on its way over to the court and the prosecutor's office at some point today.
Thank you, Mr. Nickel. That's my understanding. So I'm going to indicate for the record that the probable cause conference was held. The preliminary examination is left on for July 22nd at 8:30. And Mr. Yang is filing a substitution of counsel or has already filed it. Anything else for the record, Ms. Shinsing?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Johnson, we are leaving the preliminary examination on for next week, July 22nd at 8:30. It's my understanding that Mr. Yang will be representing you, and he should come and talk to you. A substitution of counsel has been filed. Any questions you have about this case should probably go to Mr. Yang at this point. Do you understand that, sir?
No, I don't.
Okay. So tell me what you don't understand.
How do y'all have probable cause to send my case over and I don't even have a lawyer?
Well, you still have your preliminary examination in a week. Okay, probable cause has already been filed, but the witnesses will come and they'll testify against you at a probable cause standard, and Mr. Yang will be your legal representative to cross-examine those witnesses and to contest the case. Oh, and Mr. Yang just joined us. So let me see if I can bring him in. There he is.
I don't even know who Mr. Yang is. I haven't even talked
But
to
you're
him.
gonna you're gonna meet him right now. Mr. Yang, you've been appointed, you've substituted counsel in on Mr. Johnson's case.
That's correct. As of this morning, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. We have just left the preliminary examination on for July 22nd at 8:30 at this point. And so would you like the opportunity to speak with Mr. Johnson in a breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor, if that's possible. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I think that is. So, Mr. Johnson, so that's all on the record in 2201736. And Mr. Johnson, I'm going to go ahead and put you in a breakout room with your new attorney so he can explain some of the process to you, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're going to put him in the breakout room too? All right, you should be in breakout room 2, Mr. Yang.
And I believe that's all I have this morning, Your Honor. You have a good weekend, everybody.
That is, Mr. Nichols. Good to see you. Have a nice weekend, okay?
All right.
Thanks. And Mr. Raleigh, your case on Ms. Castilla is up next, but I think Mr. Johnson is on Polycom right now with his attorney in a breakout room. So I'll call that case as soon as Ms. Castilla gets set up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we're on the record in docket 22-01358. That's people, the state of Michigan versus Cristasia Castilla. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Victoria Shinzing on behalf of the people.
Jacob Raleigh on behalf of Ms. Castilla.
And this is the time set for a probable cause conference concerning Ms. Castilla. Ms. Shinsing, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding that we are leaving this set for preliminary examination next week, but again, I'll defer to Mr. Raleigh.
Yes, Your Honor, I think that would be the right thing to do at this time.
All right. I do have a note on this file from the judges from the judges concerning a competency package. And I have a note indicating that I should sign it and order it on the record. Is that your understanding, Mr. Raleigh?
Yes, Your Honor, that is our intention at this time.
All right. So I'm going to leave it on for prelim at this point in time. And that's on that will be on July 22nd. Is this an 8:30 prelim? July 22nd, 8:30 per Judge Buchanan's schedule. And ma'am, I almost forgot. You are Cristasia Castilla?
Correct.
All right, you can hear me all right, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I have an indication here that I'm gonna per motion already in the file, I'll sign the paperwork and I'll indicate for the record that I'm signing the request for forensic evaluation and the petition for referral and the order for competency concerning Ms. Castilla. We'll leave it on for July 22nd, but I think if I sign the order, it doesn't need to be left on. Yeah. So let's not leave it on. Yeah, let's not leave it on for July 22nd. Let's scratch that. I'll sign the orders and we can go from there. Is that your understanding, Ms. Shinsing?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Raleigh, I'm going to go ahead and sign the orders. I've placed it on the record. So it's indicated for the record. Mr. Raleigh, anything else for the record on this file?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Castilla, I've signed some paperwork today, some orders. If you have any questions, please. What's that?
I like to fire Mr. Raleigh.
All right, well, we'll leave that. We'll leave that for you between you and Mr. Raleigh, and you can and we can talk about substitution of counsel later. For right now, let's finish our paperwork today, and we'll let your satisfaction with Mr. Raleigh be addressed on another date. This is actually Judge Buchanan's file, but I'm really, this is a PCC for preliminary examination next week, and I've filed some paperwork. At this point in time, if you have any questions, contact Mr. Raleigh, but we're going to go forward from here. All right, ma'am?
He won't answer me at all when I call him. He won't have any communication when I try to contact him with third party yet either.
All right. Well, this time we're signing some orders for forensic evaluation, and then during that process, you'll be in contact. All right.
Yeah, he probably will say that and not do it again with Joseph. Is there any reason to bond?
We're not addressing bond today. You may be able to address bond later. You'll be in front of a different judge later. You'll be in front of Judge Buchanan.
Right. What?
All right. So yeah, you'll be in front of Judge Buchanan. Right. I understand. So that's all on the docket. Probably after you go to forensics and that order is signed, which I'm signing it today.
Right, that'll be a few more months because he doesn't want to do his job, so then I have to put time to do his fucking job.
I'm not aware of the forensic time frame, ma'am. So that's all on the record.
Give a few more months because Mr. Raleigh doesn't want to do his job.
Okay. So that's all on the record in 2201-358. Anything else, Ms. Shinsing?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Raleigh?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All
Your
right,
Honor,
thank
the
you.
court's already done competency on me. They
I'm sorry,
already
ma'am, I
have
couldn't make that up.
6 of them.
I can't understand what you're saying, ma'am.
The court has already ran competency on me previously. Why can I not use those results?
I'm not familiar with the forensic process, but
They have like 6
it'll,
of them already. Why can't those be used?
right. I'm not certain. I can only sign an order for this time period. So if you have any questions, you shouldn't direct them to the court. You should direct them to your counsel.
Well, I have, and who will answer that question either.
All right. So that's all on this file, 2201-358. Thank you, everybody, for your appearance.
I believe that's all for me today, Your Honor. Thank you.
I think that's correct, Ms. Shinsing. Thank you for your appearance today.
They're not gonna respond. It's the people from earlier.
We're closing this room as the docket's done on the Galaxy Note, just so you know. The docket, Judge Buchanan's docket and Judge Flores' docket is done for today.